Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea LaPlante. I am a certified health coach, and I'm also a national marketing director with the Juice Plus Company. And I'm so honored tonight to host and introduce the three incredible women that will be sharing their stories tonight. And I just want to take 2 seconds to say how grateful that we all are. First of all, that you took time out of your busy lives. I know you all have children and busy lives to share your stories and your journeys with us, but secondly, really to appreciate what you've done in terms of being part of the military and protecting our country and what that means for sacrifices for your family that you do to keep our country safe. So I just want to honor all of you that are on the call tonight and thank you from the bottom of our heart for what you've done for all of us. So thank you. My story starts years ago. I first heard about Juice Plus at my gym. My colleague Kim introduced it to me, and it made complete sense to me. I was blown away because my son had overdosed on isolated vitamin supplements as a toddler. It was incredibly scary. It was a huge wake-up call for my family, and seeing fruits and vegetables and capsules and chews just blew me away because of what happened to my son. There were over 51,000 calls made to poison control centers in 2008, and some of those kids didn't make it. But I was very lucky that my son is okay. And so when I found Juice Plus and that it's just whole food, it really spoke to me, and so did the education. The education that comes with this company is absolutely amazing. So I was looking for answers and angry, and I really found them here with this nutritional. And that's my little story. But once we added it to our diet, it completely changed the picture of my family's health, and we thought we were healthy. And after partnering with this company and seeing the type of people it attracts, we really wanted to get the word out on how this opportunity is really being woven into people's lives. So we decided to do this call to honor our military spouses and have them share their stories, their personal health journeys, and the opportunity that this is presented for them as well. I'm going to hand it over to Cassie. First, let me introduce all three of them. You're going to hear from Cassie tonight. She is a former Division I collegiate athlete, a former pharmaceutical rep. She's an Army spouse and a mom of two. Caitlin is an Air Force spouse, mom of three, living in Hawaii. They both live in Hawaii, and she's going to give you a great story about her son and why this spoke to her, the nutrition. And Suze is a Navy spouse, mom of three from Rhode Island, and she has an incredibly powerful health story as well. So we're going to start with Caitlin. Actually, Cassie, we're going to hand it over to Caitlin and then close it out with Suze. So Caitlin, take it away. How did you first hear about Juice Plus? Why did it make sense to you? You added it to your family, so why did the opportunity speak to you as well?
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for letting me share my story. So like she said, I'm Cassie Johannes, and we are currently stationed here in Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. And I was first introduced to Juice Plus about 8 years ago from my sister-in-law. And it came to me in my life when I was really struggling with some health issues. Like she said, I had been a Division I collegiate athlete, played on the national team. And so I physically was in shape, but I was not healthy. So when I finished my career, my health issues just really escalated. I struggled with headaches every day, digestive issues. I was dependent on caffeine just to get me through the day. My sleep was horrible. My asthma and allergies were at their all-time worst. I was so dependent on that medicine. And the list goes on and on. Bottom line, I felt like crap. So when my sister-in-law introduced Juice Plus to me, it didn't at first make 100% sense to me, but I was really intrigued. And like she said, at the time I was in pharmaceutical sales, and I had really developed an appreciation and understanding for research. So the very first question I asked was, well, show me the research. And to be honest, I was asking that because I was thinking I was stumping her and I was not going to have to take this product. So, of course, she came back to me with over 20 gold standard studies to show that Juice Plus gets in the body, it is bioavailable, and it does amazing things like what fruits and vegetables do in our body because it is fruits and vegetables. And so I was absolutely, truthfully blown away by the research. and did a little bit more digging, did a little bit more research, and immediately at that point decided that my husband and I needed to be on this product. And we instantly got started on Juice Plus, and that really was the 180 transformation for us, for our health, our eating habits, and like she said, our knowledge of nutrition in general. So that was 8 years ago. I mean, I don't have headaches anymore. My energy is awesome. I've got 2 little kids that I got to keep up with. I don't need caffeine. I am 100% off all of my allergy and asthma medicine, which is, it still blows my mind, because I was on that medicine my entire life. I have 2 healthy Juice Plus babies. So my 5-year-old has been on antibiotics once for a finger infection, and I have an almost 4-year-old, and he has never been on antibiotics, which is awesome. So, again, all of these one simple changes and this addition into our life, we've been able from day one to instill these healthy habits, and this Juice Plus habit and Juice Plus lifestyle into our kids. And, that's just, as a mom, that's such an amazing thing to have and be able to give them. So that was it. I was happy. We were healthy. I was just going to be a customer. I didn't want anything to do with the business. I said, nope, it's not for me. And I was just happy to work outside the home, and I was going to be a customer. Things never always plan out the way you plan. But so as a military spouse, it's no secret that it's challenging for us to have careers and employment. And, we move every 2 years. We, even if our husbands aren't deployed, they're not always around. We hardly ever stationed near family that could help out. And then sometimes we're just stationed in places that just flat out doesn't have employment opportunities for us. So I experienced all of those challenges as well. And we ultimately decided that working outside the home was not for me at this time. And so I fiercely love my kids, but I love having my own thing. I have always pictured myself as working. I want to provide financially for my family. I like having tangible goals and things to work towards. And so when I decided to stay home, I really lost that piece of myself, and I really struggled. It was really a hard adjustment for me. And it was around that time that my friend Joanna, who's a military spouse, was just like, Cassie, please, will you please just be open to hearing about this business? And so that really was such a lifeline for me. So when I said no to this business, I really didn't have a specific reason why I was saying no. I just had a bunch of preconceived ideas of what I thought this business was, and that it wasn't for me. And I was way off. So don't be like me. But I asked so many questions. I had great calls with 3 other military spouses who I'm now on a team with, and I had so many aha moments. And the very first and foremost one is that every single person needs Juice Plus. From womb to tomb, we say nobody eats enough fruits and vegetables, and we definitely don't eat the variety of fruits and vegetables that we need. And so the business potential is just as great as the product. I was worried that I had to be a doctor or an expert, and we don't have to be a doctor or an expert. We have doctors and experts for that. I am just a mom who needed a simple solution to provide more nutrition for my family, and I get to share that with other moms that might be struggling, or other people that might be struggling with the same thing. I'm not trading dollars for time anymore. I weave this business into my everyday life. So I take this business wherever we go, on every single move. There's no reapplying. There's no restarting. There's no new learning curve. I can do this business at any time, wherever and whenever I want, whenever it's convenient for me. It's low stress. So that was a big thing. I was like, I've been in sales, hardcore pharmaceutical sales, where I've had to hit deadlines and quotas. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want that extra stress, right? We have enough stress as a mom and military spouse anyway. So I wanted low stress. And that is exactly what we have with Juice Plus. There's no quotas, there's no demotions. That just, right there just makes it great. I can do what I want when I want to do it. This is so awesome that I just love that we can include our kids in this. So my kids are 100% involved in this and everything that I do. They are learning alongside me about health and nutrition, learning about setting goals and helping other people, which is so awesome. And I get to be 100% present in their life. We know that our husbands, like I said, even when they're not deployed, still not around that much. So I get to be that constant in my kid's life. And then like with any good business, you generate income, and that extra income has been such a blessing for us, especially living over here in Hawaii, where everything is very expensive and it's very expensive to fly back to the mainland. So for example, my sister and brother decided to get married this year, 1 month apart, back in Houston. And if it wasn't for this business, we would not be able to make that trip as a family. And we were able to book those flights without hesitation because of this business that we've been able to do as I do life. And then my husband is retiring in 6 years, and those 6 years are going to fly by, and they're going to go by no matter what. So the biggest thing for me, and what's something that drives me every single day, is what I'm building now and what I will continue to build is changing what our future is going to look like. So when he retires, he's not going to have to jump right into a new job just to keep our lifestyle the same. He can take his time. He can pick what he wants to do. He can be a little bit more selective. But what is most important is that he will be able to be so much more present in our life and not work as much, and so much more present in the kid's life, which as military spouses, you guys know, it's they're not around a lot, hardly ever. So we're literally right now being able to design a different future for ourselves. And then finally, I love this quote. It says that without health, you have no wealth. And that's so true. And that really speaks to me and what we do here at the Juice Plus Company. So when you decide to partner with this company, you have the opportunity to have both, and you get to share both with people, which is so amazing. So again, as for us military spouses, we have to get creative and think outside the box when it comes to opportunities and employment. And I'm so thankful that my friend shared this lifeline with me, and that I took the time, like you all are doing, to learn more about the opportunity. I just wish I would have done it a little bit sooner. But so that's my story. And thanks for letting me share, you guys. And Andrea, I can turn it back over to you.
Cassie, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I can't even imagine what it's like. My husband's been traveling for 20 years, so it's very different from what you've all experienced, but I definitely understand what it's like to try and raise your children and not have the consistency of someone there, and having an erratic schedule, maybe gone 3 or 4 days and back, and knowing that you can grow this business but not have to leave the kids and sacrifice that really spoke to me too, knowing that I could do both. And then my goal now is to retire my husband now that I have the full benefits, so that he can actually be home more with the family. So your story was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We're going to turn it over to Caitlin now, and she's going to share why this made sense to her and how she weaves it into her life.
Hi guys, I'm Caitlin Russell. I am located here on Oahu as well. My story is a little backwards. So I actually joined the business because I wanted just to supplement income, but I really didn't do anything for like 6 months because I was expecting my third son. We had just learned a few years prior that my oldest son had a kidney disease. So I was trying to wrap my head around that. And then once I really learned what Juice Plus was in that 6 months time of, all these wonderful stories of what it does for you, I was like, why didn't we start this 6 months ago? So we started him on it. And since then, he has been great. He's only on one medication, and that's just to keep his kidneys flowing. We've also learned that my second son, who's 4, he also has it. And then I learned that I also have it. So, I mean, right now it's helping us, and that's why it made sense to me of why I kept continuing. Because once I saw his lab work get better and mine get better, I'm not on medication. So once I saw everything get leveled and nice, I thought I need to share this with everybody. So I kind of went off to everybody and was like, "You guys need this," and everybody just gets it. I mean, it's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. We all need it. We all know that our kids don't eat what they should be eating. So especially a 7, 4, and 2-year-old, they don't eat anything. So that really helped us a lot. And I started this about 3 years ago now. So since being in Florida and now to Hawaii, I basically do my whole business through social media. And social media is huge. And you can do it in between nap time, which I have a son sleeping in there and a couple downstairs playing. And it's just easy. It's fun. You get a great community, and we're spreading health. There's nothing better than that. So as soon as my husband, as soon as he retires, it'll be he's been in for 10 or 11 years. So once he retires, I'm going to hopefully be that one that helps and supports our entire family and gets those benefits for all of us as well. So it's been a good blessing to our family.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. Did you, when you saw that you had that going on with your family and you decided flooding your body with fruits and vegetables, how did that impact you more specifically for somebody who may be going through the same thing?
For kidney disease?
Yes.
As far as my son, his is the worst out of all of us because he actually excretes a lot of blood. Mm-hmm. So for him, it helps dramatically. His medications went from possibly 3 to 1. They wanted to keep trying more and more, and I told them to wait and give this time. And I'm glad that I did. Because since then he has been on the lowest dose, so it's been helping a lot. And with me, since I don't have what he has as bad, I haven't been on anything, and I'm very thankful for that. So it's been helping a lot. And also, I mean, they eat so many more fruits and vegetables now. They actually crave it now, which is huge. My oldest 7-year-old, he hates every vegetable under the sun. And the other night he asked for more broccoli, and I was just like, what? Like, yes, you can have as much broccoli as you want.
That's amazing. Isn't that what we want as moms, right? To give our kids the best chance of being healthy. And you're doing such an amazing thing and weaving this into your life. Do you know what your future holds with where you have to move? And do you have that information, or do you just know that as a military spouse, you would have to pick up and move again?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. It also depends on their jobs. But with us, it's basically every 4 years. So every 4 years, we know we're going to go somewhere. We just don't know where. So this appointments, they happen at any given moment.
Okay. So this is something that you're able to take with you.
Yes, anywhere. I even chose to go home for a few months en route here. And I did everything from my parents' house in Arizona. You have friends everywhere. So, I mean, salad parties, you can pick that up anywhere, and everybody loves it because everybody wants to be healthy.
Well, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you that this is blending in so well from a health standpoint and from an opportunity standpoint, because, that's a lot of shuffling around of a family. So knowing that you have this to fall back on and then provide an opportunity for your husband with benefits is just a win-win. So thank you so much for sharing your story tonight. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And so now we're going to turn it over to Suze. And Suze has an incredible health recovery story. And she also is sharing the opportunity with others. So we're going to get a little background on her and why this makes sense to her.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see all of you guys. First of all, you can hear me. Yeah. Okay, good. I've been on mute for a minute. The monkeys coming in and out. But yeah, so I am a Navy spouse. My husband is a surface warfare officer, so we, otherwise known as a SWO. I'm a SWO wife for any other Navy people out there. But yeah, we met in 94, in 99. We have 3 kids. We have been all over the place. In Florida, we've been to California a couple times. We've been in DC, we've been We actually went to Bahrain in the Middle East, which is a little teeny tiny country off the coast of Saudi Arabia. And now we're in Newport, Rhode Island. So we have been for first few years we were married, we moved every 18 months. So in the Navy, it's about every 2 years we move. We're lucky if we get 3 years out of one place. So anyway, so my story, that I was introduced to Juice Plus actually quite a long time ago when my daughter was 2, and started taking it. And you'll love this, Navy spouses or military spouses. She took it for a little while. We ended up moving, and then I sort of lost touch. This is before cell phones. No, it wasn't before cell phones, but I just lost touch with her, as it happens, and so just stopped my daughter on it. And then I was diagnosed. So fast forward till 2015, actually 4th, 2015. So in 2 days, I have a cancerversary coming up. I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, AKA breast cancer. We were living in the Middle East, and I got out of there as soon as I could, came back to the United States, came back to Boston where my family's from, and got treated. I went through double mastectomy. So AKA, it's like now I have, these are my foobies, my fake boobies, but went through 8 rounds of chemo, 28 rounds of radiation, ended up having my ovaries and my fallopian tubes taken out. And then, sort of on the other end of that, so this time last year, I was really just looking for just to clean up everything, clean up my life, clean up my diet, clean up all of it. So I had started actually juicing. I was juicing a lot. I was doing a lot of gluten-free, dairy-free, whatever I don't know. I felt like, oh yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to do that. Doing kombucha. Who was it? Caitlin, were you doing kombucha? I was like making my own booch, like I was all in. The juicing was really good. I loved it. It was just so time consuming, and expensive. So, and I actually wasn't really looking for something for myself, because I thought, all right, well, I'm just going to keep forward with this. And my cousin called and she said, hey, we started taking Juice Plus. I know Juice Plus. Like, we took this a long time ago. And said to me, you guys should really start it. So I started it, and she's like, I think you should sell this. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Let's just try, let's just try it first. And within a couple months, it was the summertime, and saw a lot of friends I hadn't seen since I was diagnosed. And they just kept saying, oh my gosh, you're glowing. Like, what's going on? I'm like, I had this new zest for life. And I think a lot of it had to do with, I was feeling healthy. Like, everything in my body was healthy. And along this journey, I've come to realize that in order to, when you're faced with, I don't know if anyone else, have, but, and faced with cancer or really any sort of debilitating disease, Caitlin, that it puts life in perspective. And so I realized I needed to, in order to get my mind and my spirit where I needed my body to be completely healthy. Like, that's the bottom line. And so a shift occurred in my life, and realized people kept asking me, gosh, what are you doing to be healthy? And they're just curious about what you do post cancer, I guess. And first thing I said was, I'm doing Juice Plus and I love it. And so I kept talking about it. And then finally, Heather said to me, why don't you just sell it? You're talking to everybody about it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really a seller. Like, I don't do that. I don't do sales. Like, that's not my thing. Like, and she's like, you're doing it anyway. And so I'm like, okay, all right. And it was very uncomfortable, right, Heather? It was very uncomfortable. I was like, I can't do this. And then lo and behold, it was just talking to people like, hey, you should sign up. And then I got my first customer, and then I got my next customer. And it was like, well, these are just my family and friends that, now I'm getting them healthy. And it just all sort of made sense. I mean, the whole concept of Juice Plus. So I skipped this part, sorry. Heather came to me and she said, if you order Juice Plus, you get your kids for free. And I thought, oh God, I was really looking for something for my kids, because it was like, I never really knew, like, what vitamin should they take? Should they be taking this? And then I'd buy something and they hated it. So I'm like, looking at these bottles and bottles of vitamins that nobody's eating. And So I thought, this is perfect. Oh, I'll do it and they'll get it for free. And then now they're all on it and they all love it. And, my daughter looks for it every day. And it just, for our family, I feel wonderful. But it's also, I've seen my kids my oldest two don't get sick anymore. And I have gotten sick, but I found that I recover so quickly. Like I used to all go to my lungs because I have asthma as well, Cassie. And it would always go to my lungs. Everything. It starts in the head, goes to the lungs, and then it just sits in my lungs for 2 weeks. Now I've had 2 colds, and within a few days, I'm all clear. So that was huge for me. And just having healthy kids now is it's been wonderful. And then onto the Navy military moving part of it. In the next few weeks, we're going to find out where we go next. We're here for another year. And it's actually shocking that a year out, we're going to know where we're going. But when you're in for 23 years, I guess that's how it goes. But it's nice. My daughter is looking at private school. My kids are in all sorts of sports that are so expensive. And we just needed a little bit of extra money. And this was the perfect way. I was like, gosh, I'm talking to everybody about what I'm doing anyway. So if I can just make a little bit of money doing that. And so I'm at the point now where I've talked to it's just people I talk to all the time. And, I'm making about $300 a month right now. And that's just I just begun. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So the potential for me to go on is wow, if I call that person and get that person. And so it's so rewarding to make money and get people healthy at the same time. And knowing in a year when we move, that I can just take it all with me and actually not only take it with me, but grow my business from wherever we go. Because it's that many more people. It's we know people all over the world. I have friends, Andrea was saying, in Naples, Italy. I have them in Bahrain still. I have friends in Japan. I have friends in Dubai. But then we have them all over the United States. So that's really exciting too. And I've reconnected with a lot of my friends, college friends. And it's just been great. And like I said, I never thought I would be in sales. And here I am and loving it. Because it doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like, oh, I get to call my friend, my roommate from college. It's yay, so.
I love that story, and I love how you do bring up feeling salesy. And we typically say, we don't want salespeople. We want people who are caring, and people who are moms who want to make impacts, and people who feel like they have a mission in life. And when you really peel back the layers of what this is, whether it's $300 a month, $3,000, $30,000 a month, it just gives all of the individuals who want some time freedom, flexibility, and endless opportunity, whatever it is you do with the financial piece of it, whether it's, pay for your children's activities, retire your husband, have full benefits, or even be able to give back. Because in some level, to be able to give to charities or do something and have the ability to have those choices, that's something that we all should have. And especially for all of you who have to continue to move the way you do, to know that you can take this with you and stay connected with everyone that you meet by clicking on your phone or your computer. So I love the way that you brought up how, this came to you from a health standpoint, which is really how everybody looks at it. With myself, with what happened to my son, I always say I would share Juice Plus regardless of if there was a business attached or not, because I really do think people need to know there's a better way. And isolated vitamin supplements are not one of them. So I would shout this off the rooftops regardless. I'm just so grateful there is a business attached, because this is an opportunity for everybody to, reach for the stars and really dream again and figure out what you want to do with your life and just take it with you. And there are people who come to this that are financially sound, but really want to make an impact. They want to be part of a bigger mission. And then there's people who are really, really trying to, pay some serious finances. So this is for everybody. And from a health standpoint as well, it's fruits and vegetables in caps and chews, and it's a brilliant concept in nutrition. And again, like all of you, after we added it to our diet, it completely changed the picture of our health too. But I'm so grateful to all three of you for joining us tonight and sharing your personal stories. And I'll be shut off the recording right now, and then we'll stay on for a few minutes if anybody has any questions. So thank you for your time. And I'm so glad now that we have Zoom, so when you do move, we can stay connected, Susan. I can still see you.